Right, Honourable Speaker, in all honesty, for starters, I think we need to clean up how we do certain things. We are all here. I mean, when you look at some of the issues being raised, we want certain roads to be worked on. We don't want to be fighting over that. But you see, even when we want some of these roads to be fixed and so on, let's tick all the boxes procedurally so that we don't have a fight regarding the law. You see, the order paper, item number 3, is talking about laying of these requests, and the Minister of Finance laid them. Item number 4, the committee chairperson is coming to table a report. And then the House has got to constitute itself into a committee of supply. We need to clean up some of these things so that we look neat, even legally. Away from that, Right Honourable Speaker, and again, as yes, the order paper is talking about laying and so on, the committee already sat, the reports are ready. I mean, some of these things, when the public that follows
Honourable Lop,
our live broadcast.
We agreed, first of all, you should also accept that we do consultation, me and you. I told you, no, we consult. I told my law that we received these loans because it is urgent. I did administrative referral. And he said, well, it may not be very smart, but since it has happened, we consult. You get it as an institution.
Right, Robo, and I want to thank you for that consultative element. It happened this morning when the committee report was already ready, all the processes had happened. Maybe if I at least had been notified earlier on, a few days when the administrative decision was being taken. But now we are here. Now we are dealing with these matters. And here are some of the quick concerns that I do have, Right Honourable Speaker. We want to purchase new aircraft for Uganda Airlines for 22 billion shillings. You see, when you read Regulation 18 of the Public Finance Management Act of 2016, those regulations are very instructive. These supplementary items have got to be unavoidable, they have got to be unforeseeable. How is it that we did not foresee some of these things that we are talking about? That some emergency has happened. I would have expected this for some of the emergencies. Colleagues are always here telling us about how floods have hit their areas, you know, bridges have collapsed and so on. That's when the Ministry of Finance is supposed to come here very quickly and say, hey, this was unforeseeable. It has happened, we need to deal with it. But some of these things, you're supposed to plan. We were here for the budget process, planning together. Why did you not bring these issues? That you're bringing them here now. We are scrambling, you know, the Speaker has to call members, come from your constituencies and so on, to come and deal with an emergency. This is a bad planning issue. Honourable Speaker, we are talking about 300 billion shillings for countrywide youth mobilization tours. I saw somebody defending it and saying, this has been part of ongoing plans. If it was part of ongoing plans, why did you not encapsulate it in the budget? Why? Now you hear what he's saying. Anyway, good enough is even off record. You would all be disturbed by the response. Let's plan for all of these things. Because now when we come here, we go through the budget, we quarrel over what we quarrel over, we refuse this and maybe allow some things. And then a short while later, you're coming and saying, hey, this was unforeseeable. No, I don't believe so. I don't agree. There's another disturbing issue. 37 billion shillings for a power stabilizer at Namave to enable Roofings Group extend steel manufacturing. This is not a national project, Honourable Speaker and colleagues. This is a direct subsidy to a private wealthy individual. I have specifically raised many complaints here, several. These subsidies, the monies that we extend to Atiak, Sugar Factory, to Rocco, Inspire Africa Coffee Factory, and so on and so forth, you have never come out clean here for people to know this is how I access a shot in the arm from government. Because we have ordinary people downtown with their small shops and so on, they also have loans. Their businesses are also crumbling. And they're saying, I would want government to aid me. Why is government aiding only a few wealthy ones? What's the process? So that somebody knows, this is how I apply. But you will come here for roofings, you'll come for Roko, you'll come for Atiak, Day by your farmer, Inspire Africa Coffee. How do these things make sense? To your ordinary voters who are also doing business and they're saying, I'm struggling.
Love, actually, what you're saying is correct, because even when we empower, the empowerment, most of the empowerment is within the Kampala youth, your voters. So you find the Bukeda people are complaining. So you're one of the beneficiaries of this empowerment. You see, this kind of thing.
I'm not a beneficiary, that's why I'm complaining. And by the way, I'm not saying governments world over do this. Governments world over. They subsidize private entities and so on, but there is a clear modus operandi on how to do this. But now you lead people to suspect that company there. Maybe somebody in government has got shares. So they begin to speculate how for them they're able to access all of this help. Does not make sense. Honorable Speaker, 79 billion shillings, part of this is for handheld hose to 7 million households. In the year 2025, we still want to purchase handheld hose for people, and yet we are talking about modernizing agriculture. But we want to purchase 7 million hose. This is my considered view, me as Joel Ssenyonyi. I am saying it is problematic. We should be advancing.
Honorable Joel, just there are areas that cannot use the other kind of tractors. If you look at a place like Honorable Musa Sisi's place, if you look at a place like Sebei, Honorable Inikwen, you don't need the big tractors. You need those handheld hose.
That's okay, right, Honorable Speaker. I am only saying we have been talking about modernizing agriculture. That's the direction we should be taking.
That is part of modernization.
This is my considered view, right, Honorable Speaker. I should be allowed space to air my view, which is contrary to some people. Yeah, so as far as I am concerned, saying we are spending 79 billion shillings to purchase 7 million hose, especially during this electoral season, there's so many question marks here. Honorable Speaker, 20 billion shillings is required by Uganda Airlines to settle debts for aircraft engine maintenance. So we bought the planes, but we forgot the budget for servicing them. That's what this means. That's why you're coming here with a supplementary. The new aircraft we want to purchase is from the manufacturer Boeing. We have Airbuses. So now you want to have a bit of this and a bit of the other. Why don't you take advantage of economies of scale? You're scrambling jets with spare parts. All of these things are not taken care of, Honorable Speaker. The Ministry of Tourism wants 6 billion shillings, partly to commemorate Martyrs' Day across Anglican, Catholic and Muslim faith. Every year we do this. Why did you not plan for this, government? For me, that's what I find quixotic. That you bring this through a supplementary. Every year, we are always here talking about Uganda Martyrs' Day, how it is a big tourism potential event, but you don't plan for it. Honorable Speaker, protect me from this man from Kasambia. So I'm saying that this is poor planning, honestly. Finally, right, Honorable Speaker, the Electoral Commission needs 469 billion shillings to create 15,256 new polling stations, 1.5 months to the election. How can this be okay? We have had 5 years to plan for an election. So 1.5 months to an election is when you're saying, oh, we need to create 15,000 new polling stations, give us money. But how?
Honorable Joel.
And then...
Honorable Joel.
Yes, right, Honorable Speaker.
Do they just need to create or they have created?
Honorable Speaker, and that's the entire plan.
That is a concern to all of us. This one is not partisan. Do they just need to create or they have created?
Honorable Speaker, and that's the planning element I am talking about. So at whichever time you have created them, it is now that you're saying we need money as if you did not plan for it. But why? Why do you not plan properly? 1.5 months to an election. That's my big concern. Honorable Speaker, the biometric voter verification kits, part of which this money is going to take care of. Again, as I did mention earlier on, there are so many unanswered questions here. You're coming here to Parliament and saying, give us money. Members of Parliament are asking questions about these machines. In the past, they have been used and they never functioned. Network issues, usability, and so on and so forth. But you are saying, give us money. 1.5 months to elections. When is training going to happen? For all stakeholders, by the way, including us in this house. I need to know how this machine works because I'm a stakeholder. It's not just for the Electoral Commission officials. So that when I am sending my agents out, I have equipped them. This is what you need to look out for. This is how this thing works. This is when you know there is a problem. 1.5 months to the election. All of that is a green area. Honorable Speaker, we need government to come clean on this biometric voter verification kits. For all of us, by the way, as I did mention, I had colleagues in the NRM, some of them complaining that they were being rigged in their primaries and so on and so forth. This is a concern for all of us, not just we in the opposition. You also want to be sure that this process is fair, it is understandable, regardless where you do belong. So we need cleanness from the state regarding this.
These people are distracting me.
Finally, right, Honorable Speaker.
Honorable, a training for members of Parliament, since we are representatives of the people and we are all stakeholders, can we organize for Electoral Commission to have an interaction with us so that we get to understand what the machines do, how they are supposed to be used, so that we go out there to tell the people that this is what you expect at the end of the day. So can we have that interaction with the EC as members of Parliament?
Honorable Speaker, a colleague wants to say.
Even the Minister of Finance, the Honorable Musasi, they did not know how these things are going to work. He was also asking in the committee, and I asked him, but you are the one presenting the request. How can you not even know how the Electoral Commission, and I am being truthful, other members can confirm.
We are saying we all
little, if any, information about them, the one asking for the money. All stakeholders are not brought on board. Who are we purchasing them from? How are they meant to function, and so on and so forth. We have had concerns about network usability in the past and so on. And then we hear these machines could be used mandatorily. Because you see, government also needs to come out very clearly on that matter. Are they saying these kits are going to be used mandatorily? We need a yes or no, so that we know.
Electoral Commission should come out clear, not government, because the leadership in government are all candidates. So let Electoral Commission come out.
Honorable Speaker, here in Parliament, the Electoral Commission is represented by the Ministry of Justice and the Attorney General. The EC chairperson does not sit here. That's why we're putting these issues to government. Yeah? So it's important that we get to know. Are they going to be used mandatorily? If so, what happens where network fails? What happens where some of the officials, as we saw in the last election, the polling official does not know how to use the thing? Because we have a month to the elections, they have not been purchased yet. My final concern, right, Honorable Speaker.
But also, before you come to the final concern, those are some of the issues that when we are having an interaction with the EC, that we should be able to ask the EC and we should be able to get responses to that effect.
Thank you, and I really hope that
provide information to the Leader of Opposition that in this supplementary, we have also provided money to NERA, and NERA has a robust plan to roll out card distribution, the national ID card distribution. And that is very important to the electoral process because the system that you're talking about, you're referring to, will require every voter to use the national ID. And therefore, they must work in symphony. And so the supplementary to the Electoral Commission and to NERA are very important.
Has everybody got the IDs?
So that is what is happening, right, Honorable?
Have been saying, about to sound like a broken record, we have a month and a half to the elections. We are now scampering around to do all of these different things. I don't see what magic we are going to do. I don't.
So can we conclude? Yes.
Finally, Honorable Speaker, look, this supplementary has got certain things that really, even me, I would be shy to oppose. You know, roads have got to be built. Some of our roads are in pathetic shape. Of course, normally I say, once we have passed the money, let's follow to be sure it is not stolen, as we normally see. That good roads are built, not getting potholes after 3 months and that kind of thing, yeah? So while there are some of those elements, of course, I do have some other concerns like Uganda Airlines and all of these different things. Now, I don't want to be standing in the way of some of, in my view, the good elements of this supplementary. But again, I'm also a stickler to rules. Rule 25 of our rules of procedure provides that for us to take a vote on any matter, we have got to have a third of all the voting members present to vote. Of the 529, that should be 177. I do not see those members, whether it be on the government side or even the side that I lead, right, Honorable Speaker. I want to confess that even my side, colleagues are not present. They're out there campaigning. So I don't know that we have that number. I hear people saying some members are online. I hope the online people are going to vote and we shall know. Honorable so-and-so is online, they have voted this way. Honorable so-and-so is online, they have voted this way. That helps also so that we don't get challenged. Sometimes Parliament has been dragged to court over procedural issues, especially because some of these things are contentious. It's got to do with procurements, huge procurements, our electoral process. Let's cross every T and dot every I.
AG.
Thank you, Right Honorable Speaker. I just want to state to the House that I am going to communicate to the Electoral Commission and require them to come and have an interaction with the members of Parliament on how the BBBK will work and their readiness in that respect as stakeholders. I will ensure that this communication reaches them before the end of tomorrow. Secondly, Lop, I just needed to clarify that it is not for lack of planning. No, let me finish.
No, on the first point.
Clarification is for me, I'm not giving.
It's for
So supplementary expenditure, supplementary expenditure, Lop, is that we struggle, we understand the frustrations that you may have in the way some of these things show up. But at some points we are unable to anticipate. For example, it is impossible for the Electoral Commission to print ballot papers until the nomination and all these are done. We cannot even provide a number because the cost of the ballot paper is determined by the number of voters on the ballot paper. A ballot paper of 2 will be different from a ballot paper of 14. So some number of candidates. So some of these things are difficult for us to. Then the issue of machines, we're not purchasing all of them at a go. Rather, we're not paying for all of them at a go. You are paying advance and then as you get along, and that's fine. So we understand the frustration, but we assure you we do our best to try and achieve that. I also want to clarify on the issue of the roofings. We are not, this supplementary is not giving any money to roofings. We are doing a public line to stabilize the power into that direction, into the Nama, the area. So that stabilization of the energy is consumed by all the people who are using that. But we understand, but colleagues, we request you to support government on this supplementary budget. And yes, we agree with you that we should always come back and make sure that that we are accountable and we promise to do better. I thank you, Right Honorable Speaker.